You know, the last 6 fights that I've had, a lot of them fighters would beat Sam.
Anyway, speaking about a little bit of fluff. No, I'm only joking. I'm here with the one and only Conah Walker, and I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too.
I'm happy what you're doing for this city. Headlining a card in your original hometown. Doesn't matter where you are on the map now.
Yeah.
It will always be Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
The opportunity that you're creating for fighters on the undercard. Let's start there.
It's not just obviously the opportunity. You know, I've managed to get this shot, and I'm here now, and it's an amazing buzz, and it's what I've always asked for. It's what I've always wanted. But you know, the one thing that sort of stands out to me is like I'm showing these guys that if I can do it, that anybody can. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is like the pinnacle of my career now. I'd say having this headline in Wolverhampton and having obviously a great dance partner. But you know, from where I've come from, the speed bumps I've had to do, and you know what I mean, the walls I've had to climb to get here. But we're here now. Do you know what I mean? So like I say, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That is the attitude that you've always had with you from the beginning. And one of the things that you said to me, I think we were speaking in Brom actually. I think it was before you fought Cyrus Pattinson. I'll never forget it. I says, you know, talking about what he brings. And you looked at me straight in the eye and you said, what he brings? He's got to be worried about what I bring.
Yeah.
And that has never left me. Don't worry about your opponent. They've got to be worried about me.
And that stands. That stands, man. Listen, I'm a demon. And, yeah, they find that out. Do you know what I mean? As always, I'm always ready, and I'm always fit. I'm strong. You know what I mean? I'm ahead of these guys, man. You know what I mean? I'm ahead of them, not just physicality, man. Mentality. You know what I mean? My mind is. I'm different, man.
You're definitely different, Sam Eggington. Now, I got really excited when I saw this fight announced because I know what you both bring. I did say to Sam downstairs, it feels like a date that I'm going on, that I know what I'm going to get at the end. Sorry if that's a bit vulgar, but that's how I feel about it. I just know I'm going to have a fantastic night.
Yeah.
But that's that feeling that I've got from this fight.
Yeah.
When you saw that name, or talk to me about how that fight even came into fruition.
It's funny because I've got a message up. Well, we sort of agreed terms. Me and Sam, not say terms. Obviously, that's for the you know, the management and whatever. But like, you know, he's. It was a couple of messages back and forth. I've said to him, look, I've asked for you, Sam. I think it'll be a great fight. There's no bad blood there. We get on. He's messaged back. I think it'll be a great fight for the fans. Let's do it. I've sent back. I've agreed my terms. Let's get it on. He messaged back. Okay, I've agreed and then leave it to them. I don't know what the hold up is. And then within a week it was done. Do you know what I mean? And that's just the type of people we are and the type of fighters we are. And yeah, look, it sort of got turned over within a week. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know what I mean, what sort of fighters we are.
Absolutely. A credit to both of you. I'm going to wind you up again because you know I like to wind you up in interviews. 15 years veteran is Sam Eggington.
Yeah.
Experience. He's definitely bringing that high school, if you want to look at it like that, college experience to you that you've described yourself as a demon.
Yeah.
He's got to worry about me. What's he got to worry about you for, about?
The freshness. I'm experienced now, you know. Do you know what I mean? I've fought every, you know, style that you can think of, and
You're like a prospect killer. If I'm gonna,
yeah, there's that. But I've also, you know what I mean, I've fought the likes of Ritson. Ritson's do you know what I mean? You know, he's Scarf and Liam Taylor. These guys are good guys, and do you know, without like, I don't want to badmouth Sam. It's not, this fight is not all about bad. We have got nothing to badmouth each other for, but I think that, you know, the last 6 fights that I've had, a lot of them fighters would beat Sam. So he can have all the experience he wants. Do you know what I mean? I've got my experience. I've got enough experience to go and win a world title. So if I've not got enough experience to beat Sam Eggington, then I shouldn't be fighting for a world title.
One of the fighters that I did like, and I'm sorry to go a little bit haphazard with this, but the build up to the McCormack fight,
Yeah.
I was just sat at home laughing my head off because what you were doing, you were just provoking him continuously. As a fighter, you look at your opponents. With some of them, it ain't going to work. I get that. But you really got into his head early and forced him into your fight before it even got into the ring.
Yeah.
How'd you do that, Conor?
I judge energies. I judge people. I can feel the room. You read the room. Me and Sam don't need none of that. You know what I mean? I know what sort of guy he is, and he doesn't like the razzmatazz, the talk, and I know that. And I think obviously there's no need for it. Do you know what I mean? We're both gonna go in and we're both gonna rip each other's heads off. Pat, he's fresh to the game. He's a puppy of the pro game, and I had to tap into that. The doubts that he's going to have, because he's going to have doubts, he's going to have questions, because he only had the 7-8 fights or whatever it was. And like I say, when I was saying to him, look, I remember the questions I was asking myself back then. Do you know what I mean? You can have all this amateur experience, but you've got to do certain things, and I knew that he'll be asking them questions about himself, and he'll have all the people around him telling him he's this and telling him that, but in his own head and there's a lot of time you spend on your own in boxing, and the questions he'll be asking himself the questions, and I just told him as it is. There wasn't me getting in his head. I was literally telling him as it is. I was putting the facts to him. I was just relaying the things that he's already been asking himself.
You know, when you sat there on your own, you mentioned that fighters have a lot. It is a lonely sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you overcome those potential doubts? Where did you go from? Listen, I have no doubt in your confidence, but where did you go from potentially over asking those questions to literally saying, having that battle to say, I know what I'm capable of?
Yeah.
Where was that kind of transition for you?
When I started enjoying, from the Kane Gardner fight, I used to fight with anger, I used to fight with anger, and I used to fight with aggression. Do you know what I mean? I want to kill him, I want to knock him out. And I sat back and I thought, what am I doing, man? Here, I need to enjoy the sport. And if I keep going on like this, I'm gonna put myself into a bloody home, man. Do you know what I mean? And when I went and I said to myself, look, So I started doing a lot of research with the mind, visualization, hypnotherapy, flow state, and then I started tapping into like uncharted territory for me, and I've developed an addiction to find out how the mind works and what we can actually do as people. And obviously I went into I've gone into the hypnotherapy, the visualization, and seeing negative thoughts and negative if you live in a negative outlook in life, you're gonna put yourself in an early grave. You're gonna put yourself into bad places in your life. So bad negative thoughts will only affect yourself, and it will only. But it's not just like everything that happens in life. If you've got negative thoughts, negatives are gonna keep coming and keep finding you. But everything I do, I'm positive about, because I believe in I don't know if you know about The Secret and things like that. The power of attraction. Think? Yeah, but this is it, and I live my life. I give out good energy and I receive good energy. That's why I get good things happen to me, because I'm a good person and I put out good energy, and I just believe in what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and it's got a funny world. The world and the universe has got a funny way of working things out. And if you put out the right energy will definitely come back.
The right energy, we talk about that. The gym that you're in, I love that gym. I've been into that gym. Nigel Travis, the whole shebang. You've kind of fit into there, like you've always been in there.
But that found me. Do you know what I mean? That's another thing.
This is what. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's another thing. Obviously, when I sat down with Jamie and Nige, and I was talking about my energy and the secret, and then you seen Jamie just he showed his arm. He's got the secret tattooed on his arm, and he was like, "This is meant to be. This is." And I went, "Fucking hell, man, this is crazy." And then the more I've sat down with Jamie, me and Jamie, the same people, and we found each other through energies, and and the power of life and the power of attraction. And obviously, I grew up watching Jamie. You know what I mean? Come up, trying to be like him and fight like him.
No way.
Yeah. And now I class him as one of my best friends, and I look up to him, and I've got him he's part of my life. Do you know what I mean? And that's because our energies have brought us both together. And but that's life. Do you know what I mean? That happens to me all the time. You know what I mean? I have things happen to me that don't happen to normal people. Do you know what I mean? I believe that I'm here for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Now I'm going deep now, but you know.
No. Listen, I get it, and I wanted to learn a little bit, just a little bit more about you. I do think that as you've gone to Jamie and Nigel, your boxing has improved. Because I was thinking, I was one of these that were like, why is he leaving? Because I'm one of these. If I'm with you for life.
Is that when I snapped at you?
It's all right. If I was asking you boring questions, you wouldn't snap, would you?
Yeah.
I'm always going to try and get a rise out of people.
I get it.
Because I want to know.
Yeah.
But I will say that your boxing has improved as well, because I just have you down as a brawler, somebody that is ready to go toe to toe. But we see like boxing IQ with you as well, so it's definitely worked, is what I'm saying. So I have to put my hands up and say, Soz, it actually worked.
Yeah, look, it's it was a hard. Do you know the reason why? Obviously, I snapped, and I mean, I did snap. It wasn't a nasty snap. I just sort of. It was obviously Rich. He's still one of my best friends. He's one of my closest. We've done so much together, inside and outside the ring. We're not just friends in boxing. We've been to Ibiza together. We've been to Mallorca together. We've been all around the country doing things, other things. You know, our families are friends. Everything's not. It was hard for me to do that. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to look after number one. And it was. It's just something I had to do. Not because of him, of a trainer. That he's a great trainer, and we could have definitely gone on and done as much as I will with Jamie and Nige. It was personal. It was just something I need to do for my own sanity, and I needed to get out of the sort of, you know, I need to get out of Wolverhampton. As much as I love Wolverhampton, it's my home, it's my bread and butter, it's my family, it's my friends. But I needed to get out of that to achieve my more from myself.
It becomes a mindset, doesn't it, when you kind of like locked into a particular area, you're used to the routine.
Yeah. I'm all in. That's the difference. I'm all in. And Jamie's all in, Nigel's all in, we're all in. Boxing is just life now, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sat there, we're chilling, I'm with my missus, my dog, get a FaceTime, Jamie. Conor, I want you to look at this. He turns it round, showing me a video of Sam on the thing. He said, look, look, I'm all in, do you know what I mean? We're all in, and that's going to be the difference, do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Matchroom then, final question. You talk about doing what's best for yourself. You've done it the hard way. You've grafted, literally built the foundations to build this nice, pretty house, this adventure that you're going on now. It is the house, the foundations have been built. When we talk about like loyalty, do you believe in that same kind of thought process that Matchroom can take you where you want to be as like the whole? And I'm going to be really blunt with this. Zoffa, I'm going to call him out, come to you and say, Conor, we like your style. You're what, 147, 154. We've got some opportunities here and we're going to give you some life-changing money. What would you do then?
I'll have to tell him no, because I've just signed a contract with Matchroom. You know what I mean? I'll be in the doghouse. But no, listen.
If you were out of contract?
Listen, regardless of you know, what my answer to you, you know what I mean, it's going to ruffle feathers both sides. It doesn't matter to me. It's like, see me, yeah, I'm living my dream, do you know what I mean? Eddie Earns give me that dream. Matchroom will give me that dream. So as it stands, they're my people. Do you know what I mean? And they will always be my people. So look, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'll never turn down 15 million, because 15 million is 15 million. Do you know what I mean? So if you're trying to get something out of me, then there's no one in this world that are gonna turn down 15 million. It's not gonna happen. But as it stands, Matchroom are my people, man.
I love that honesty. Listen, I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to ask you how the fight's going to go because I know what I want. I don't need you to sell this fight. You can do that at the press conference tomorrow. It's sold out. I know you've sold a barrage of tickets as well.
Yeah.
I just wish you all the best. Thank you for bringing fighting, boxing, the main screen back to West Mids. We need that. So with you and Sam Eggington, those dance partners, thank you to both of you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, man, let's go.
Let's go.